If you plan on going on your summer vacation soon, I really hope that you will find something that you will enjoy in this video. Hello and welcome, my name is Christina, and if you're new here, I pick a little bit of everything in my recommendation videos: thriller, fantasy, romance, middle grade, so I hope that you will find something that you will enjoy. Where's my Kindle? I want to hold my Kindle because I don't have any real books. I have 10 wonderful recommendations for you today, so let's get started. The first book I want to recommend, and it's very fitting for a summer vacation, is Beach Read. I read this a couple years back, I think when it was first released, and I gave it 5 stars, but I couldn't exactly remember what it was about, but I will tell you now. So it is about 2 authors. One of them is a romance writer. One of them is a literary author, I believe, and they are both in kind of a writing slump. And they end up meeting and helping each other get through the writing slump by the romance author, whereas the romance author has to write a great literary novel and the literary novelist has to write a romance novel, and they kind of show each other how to research for both of those types of genres. It's a lot of fun. I really liked it. I highly recommend. The next book is a thriller. So if you are in the mood for a very spooky, kind of creepy, fast-paced, suspenseful book, you are going to like that one, and that is called For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. Now, this book, if you like the Netflix show You will enjoy this book. It follows Teddy, who is a teacher at a high school, and he strongly believes that everything that he does is for the greater good of his students. He strongly believes he is highly justified in all his bizarre actions, and you get to hear the whole narrative of him. And I don't want to give anything away, but trust me when I say that if you really enjoy binging the Netflix show you will enjoy For Your Own Good. The next 2 books I'm going to recommend are part of a series, and honestly, any chance I get, I will recommend this book to you, but that is the Nevermore series, books 1 and 2. This is a middle grade book, so if you're looking for an easy and fast read that is kind of like Harry Potter, then you will enjoy these ones. So the first book is called Crow. What is it called? First book is called The Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. It follows Morgan. She is an 11-year-old girl who is cursed to die on her 12th birthday. But she's the main character, so obviously she doesn't die. She gets whisked away to this magical world, and there are several reasons behind why she gets whisked away. And once she is whisked away into this magical world, she needs to compete in a contest so that she can stay in this magical world. And it is so good. It is so magical. I love this series. Highly, highly recommend it if you are a fan of Harry Potter. And the second book is called The Calling of Morgan Crow. The second book is called Wundersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow. I'm not going to say too much about this one because I don't want to spoil the first one, but I actually really enjoyed the second one even more. They're both good, but the second one was a lot of fun because you get to learn the world a little bit more. You get to see the friendships that Morgan makes, and it is a great read. The third recommendation I have for you is actually the third book in a series of 3 standalone series, and that is The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang. Now, this book was so good. I actually did read it while I was on vacation by the beach. It is a very cute romance novel, and I forget the main character's name, but the book starts out with her boyfriend telling her that he wants to have an open relationship, and this boyfriend is someone that looks good to everyone else in her family, good on paper, except not to her. And so she is not very happy with this news, but she says, okay, fine, and she wants to essentially revenge date and meet someone else. So on a whim, she signs up for a dating app and she meets someone, and I'm not going to say anything else because it would spoil the book, but this was a very entertaining and cute read. I really hope it becomes a movie one day. It is part of the series, but I haven't read the other books. I'll probably read them backwards, but you don't have to read them in any order. It is a standalone book. Another recommendation I have for you this summer is The Midnight Library. Maybe you've already read it, but if you haven't, this book is kind of fantasy / time travel, alternate universe, but It follows our main character who goes to this library, and her librarian is there, and she says, hey, the books of all your life choices are here, but have you wondered what your life would be like if you made this choice instead, if you did this choice instead? And the book kind of follows her examining the possibilities of what her life could be like if she would have made certain choices. Honestly, it was like 10 great adventure books in one. I was very immersed the whole time I read The Midnight Library. Is definitely worth your time. And let's jump back to romance books. One of the books I recently read was Heart Bones by Colleen Hoover. I love this author. If you're in a reading slump, highly recommend you check her out. This is one of her shorter books, so it was a very quick read. And it definitely made me feel like I was at the beach when I read it. So if you are going to the beach, this is a great read. But if you want to feel like you're on a summer beach vacation during your angsty teenage years, this is also a great read. So it follows our main character, Bea. At the start of the book, something happens, and because this thing happens, she has to go live with her estranged father and her stepsister in Texas for the summer. And while she is there, she befriends her stepsister, and she also meets this very moody, strange neighbor who has a lot of secrets. And their relationship develops, but there's lots of angst and there's some mystery in this book, and I just felt very immersed. It's an angsty beach vacation read, so if that is what you're into, you will love Heart Bones. Let's switch gears and talk about a thriller again. This next thriller is called Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Whew, this book was so good. It had my heart racing. It made me very scared, but it was so good. So we follow the main character who starts out broke and heartbroken, and she accepts a job where she is a house sitter for this really fancy penthouse in New York City, and she gets to stay there for free, and which is great because she can barely afford her rent. But when she accepts the job, there's just a lot of strange rules and weird things keep happening, so she keeps investigating what's going on. So we get to see it from her point of view and investigate it and find out, and the ending was phenomenal, and if you like thrillers, you will love this book. And the last two recommendations I have for you are both romance novels. The first one being Under One Roof by Ellie Hazelwood. This was a very short and cute read. It is about this girl whose PhD professor leaves her half of her house in her passing. And when she gets to the house, she realizes that the house is also occupied by someone related to her PhD professor. There is just a lot of witty dialogue in this book. It's very short, it's very simple, you'll laugh a lot, you'll smile a lot, so highly recommend this if you want a quick and simple read. And the last book I recommend for you is The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. I do not see this book talked about enough here on BookTuber, but it is so good. So we follow Britta, who works for a fitness company, and her job is to review a specific new and up-and-coming fitness app. She starts reviewing the app. She is matched with a fitness coach. So when she's matched with this online fitness coach, they start corresponding, they start talking, and then she finds out that this fitness coach is the CEO of the app. But she doesn't want to tell him that because she wants to keep her experience to the app true to her job. And that's all I'm gonna say, but it is a really fun read. I also hope this will get made into a movie, but if it doesn't, you have the book to enjoy. Please let me know if you've read any of these or if you plan on reading any of these in the future, or if you have any recommendations for me, I would love to add them to my TBR list. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.